bookaholics, this is Isabel and welcome to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about all the romance novels I want to read. So romance is becoming one of my favorite genres to read. I absolutely love them. They're so fun to read, they're so quick, and they're just enjoyable, honestly. They just have a tone to them that I just love. And I definitely wanted to add this kind of episode to my Book of Love series for the Valentine's Day season, and I can't wait to talk to you about these 12 books I want to read. So let's just get right into it. The first book I want to read is 10 Rules to Faking It by Sophie Sullivan. This one has been recently released and I am so excited for it because it follows a girl who was in this relationship with this guy Sam, and on her birthday she'd walked in on him cheating on her with his assistant. So in her job, she wants to start this podcast. On one of the first times that she films, she doesn't realize she is recording and she starts ranting about her ex-boyfriend Sam, and it kind of goes out into the universe, and all of a sudden there are so many men who are like lining up to date her, like in a bachelorette style, and people start voting for people who she should be with. And she also, her boss who she ran the podcast idea by, he's very cute, of course, and she has secret feelings for him, and we, as the book progresses, we realize that he has secret feelings for her. So I'm really excited for this one. It sounds super adorable. I'm ready for this podcast and I am ready for this bachelorette style kind of novel, and it sounds so cute and I'm so excited. The next book I'm so excited to read is The Ex Talk by Lynn Soloman. So this one, when I read the synopsis, I was just like, yes, let me have this in my hand already. Oh my god, I'm so excited. So this one follows one girl, Shay, who has been working at this public radio station for the last decade, and she has been loving working here, but then a new journalism person joins the team and they kind of butt heads a lot. Shay brings up this new concept for the radio called the Ex Talk, where two exes are giving advice for relationship advice, and the people who they decide to co-host this is obviously Shay and Dominic. They are deceiving the listeners, but their banter and everything just works so well online, and it just starts getting really huge, and so the deception even gets worse, and then they are slowly falling for each other, and this is just like my perfect rom-com. I'm loving this idea. I cannot wait to read it, and I'm so excited. So this one is definitely on my to be read very soon. The next book on my TBR is Much Ado About You by Samantha Young. This one also sounds very adorable, and it also involves bookstores, so you can't go wrong there. So this one follows Evie as she is passed over for promotion and decides that the life she's living right now is not what she wants. So she kind of moves away to gain some perspective, and she works at this bookstore that is just below her apartment that she lives, and so she starts working here, and she ends up meeting this charismatic farmer who comes to the store all the time, and she's trying to resist his charm, but he is slowly wearing her down. So I'm really excited for this one. Not only is it based in a bookstore, but it's a rom-com, and it sounds so amazing. So I'm really excited for this one, and I can't wait to read it. The next book I'm excited to read is Makeup Breakup by Menon. I think this might be her debut novel as a adult romance, because I believe this is also the same author as Menon, who writes all the YA ones, like when Dunmore. I think that's what it is. I'm guessing she's going by a different name. But yeah, so this one sounds really adorable as well. This one follows two characters who have both created an app. Annika has created the makeup app and Hudson created the breakup app. So these apps are very similar because they had first met in Las Vegas and had like a one-night stand or something, I'm not too sure, but they had gone their separate ways after this, and now they both had separate apps. She had the makeup to find love, and he had to break up to, like, it's like a breakup app for Uber or something. I'm not too sure what it means. I'll find out in the book. But they both have these apps, and they're both in this competition for this app thing to win money, and she needs it because otherwise her app will fail. So she is in competition for this, and because he has moved into the office that she is in, they keep bumping into each other again and again and again. And slowly she realizes that maybe he isn't as shallow as she thought he was. So I'm really excited for this one. It sounds really adorable, and I do love Samantha and Menon novels, and I'm hoping I will love her first adult novel as well. The next romance book on my TBR is Meet You in the Middle by Devon Daniels. So this one is a hate to love one. It follows one character who is a liberal and is gunning for this legislation to go through, but she is stopped every time by this conservative. They have this a little bit of an animosity between them. They keep bumping into each other and they spar and all that. Like, it sounds really cute. And eventually, as they continue to spar, this ends up being one of her favorite parts of the day, is when they start arguing with each other and slowly realizes that maybe her animosity is more attraction. And I'm just so excited for this one. It sounds so adorable, and I cannot wait to have it in my hands and read it. The next one on my list is Shipped by Angie Hockman. I've been told that it is like a combination of The Hating Game and The Unhoneymooners, which The Unhoneymooners is like one of my favorite romantic novels. So I'm really excited about that. The Hating Game was not. I had to DNF it, but this one has a great concept that I'm hoping I will love. It follows two characters who are rivals in this office, and they are trying to get this promotion, and in order to do that they end up going on this like trip to the Caribbean or something. I'm not too sure where they go, but they go on this vacation together, and obviously sparks fly between them. But I'm really excited for this because it's a hate to love. Again, hate to love is like one of my favorite tropes, so I'm super excited for this one, and it sounds really good. The next book I'm excited to read is Faker by Sarah Smith. I've had this one on my shelf for a little while, and I still am so excited for it. So again, it is a hate to love one. This one follows Emmy, who is working in this power tool company, and she's one of the few female workers, so she has to be tough as nails at work, even though outside of work she's very friendly and nice. But when this new person starts working there, he is not very friendly to her. Every time she tries to make nice with him, he just scowls and doesn't give anything to her. So they do not get along. But when they are matched to work on this charity construction project, they are forced to interact with each other, and slowly they realize that maybe this guy isn't as mean as he presents himself to be. So I'm super excited for this one. The next one on my TBR is Bringing Down the Duke by Evie Dunmore. This one I've also had on my shelf for a little while now, but I love this idea, especially after watching Bridgerton. I am ready for a 19th century novel. This one follows Annabelle, who is going to this university, and in order to kind of join it, she has to be part of the suffrage of women rights. And so she is joining this, and she is tasked to convince a very high political person to join their cause, and hers is this guy Sebastian, who was a duke of something, and he is not in support of her cause, does not want anything to do with it. So she's trying to convince him, and he is trying to not, but they both have attraction towards each other, of course. So I'm excited for this one. I'm ready to see where it goes because I am up for some historical romance after watching Bridgerton. So yeah, I'm excited for this one. The next romance on my TBR is The Worst Best Man by Mia Sosa. So this one I'm super excited for because it follows a wedding planner who gets left at the altar. And so when a high prestigious client asks her to plan her wedding, she's excited to, but unfortunately she has to work with the best man, or worst man at the wedding that she was jilted. And it turns out that this was her ex-fiance's brother, and he was also the one who convinced the ex-fiance to jilt the bride. So I'm excited for this one. It sounds really cute, really adorable, and I'm ready for some hate to love relationship because that's my fave and I just love it. So I'm excited for this one and I can't wait to read it. The next one I'm really excited for is the Bromance book club. I did not put the author's name on here, so you'll see it here. This one I'm really excited for because it sounds like an interesting take on like romance novel, because it follows the males and it follows them as they're trying to figure out how to navigate love by reading romance novels. And honestly, that is so iconic and I love it. So this is the first book in this series or trilogy. I can't remember how many books are in this, but each one follows a different couple and each one follows a different manly man who wants to kind of get advice from romance books, and I'm excited to see where this goes. It sounds so adorable. The next one I actually want to read is The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. This one I'm super excited for too because it's a Christina Lauren book, obviously. This one follows two characters who are working for this big empire that are just going on a book tour with the people who created this company, and unfortunately the couple cannot stand each other. So the main character and the love interest have to kind of keep that secret and go along on this book tour and make sure that everything flows nicely. And so it just follows as they go on this book tour, and I'm guessing havoc ensues and everything just comes apart. And I love Christina Lauren, so I'm ready for anything and I'm ready to figure out what goes on in this book. So I'm really excited for this one. And the last one that I have on my TBR is The Two Lives of Lydia Bird by Josie Silver. Now this one I'm super excited for because it has such a unique premise. So this one follows a character who loses her husband or fiance or boyfriend of a lot of years, and she is devastated, doesn't know what to do, and she somehow comes across a store that allows her to go into a world where her husband is still alive and gets to live out that life and also still live out the life where her husband is gone. So it just follows as she goes back between these lives and has to decide which one to stay in. And I'm super excited to read this one because it sounds like it's gonna be such a great read, heartbreaking, but also just, I don't know what to expect, honestly. I'm super excited though to find out. So this one is definitely on my TBR and I can't wait to read it. So those are all my to be read romance novels. I am so excited for them and I can't wait to actually pick them up and read them. The ones that I'm super excited for is definitely the X Talk and probably The Two Lives of Lydia Bird. Thank you so much for watching. Give it a thumbs up and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!